Hello, Beetle collectors. Time for an update from Craig. um, Let me go ahead. I just wanted to show some of my finds, some of the things that I've collected over the past couple of months. There's more on the way, but I thought I'd just keep up the good, fresh, new stuff. So the first thing I wanted to show is I did complete, well, sort of complete my collection on the Bruce Spizers books. I got the one that is the most valuable out of them all. The songs, pictures, and stories of the fabulous Beatles records on VJ. This one is very, very hard to come by. It's out of print now. If you did want a copy of it, you can go on Bruce Spizers' site, and for $50 you can, so you can have the knowledge. And it's really good to have because in here it talks about the controversies. It talks about the individual pressings. It even talks about the counterfeits. It goes into like albums. I mean, one of my favorite sections was the introducing the Beatles, because that especially to have something of knowledge on that album is really good. And it even has a section of like counterfeits, like what are the biggest counterfeited versions and stuff like that, different kind of versions. So I would really recommend, if you can afford this book, definitely go on his site, because the knowledge is great on there, especially to pick out, so you know what you're buying when you do buy like an Introducing the Beatles, if you plan to invest some money into it. The next thing I wanted to do was show you, I got a really good pressing of this sleeve. I have to find the record, but this one is a kind of a difficult sleeve to find. I paid like $3 for it because it didn't have the record, and I thought that was a really good buy. It's very, very good pressing. It's very, very good condition. So I really like the kind of the picture of it. The red kind of brings it out. The only thing is there's a wear and tear right here. So not too bad, but very, very good otherwise. The next thing is I got my Bonnie to go along with the green issue. Very, very good. I really like how they tried to get money off of the Beatles. Then GM, they got the rights to My Body, so it's kind of funny seeing that. And it doesn't even have the intro on this, because I really like the intro. So on the original, the German original that I have, the English intro. So here is the record itself, so you can see. Kind of a cool, somebody wrote their name up there, but that's okay. Still a really nice piece to have. The next one, I didn't pay too much as well for this one. I got this in the single digits, like 9, 10-ish, something like that. And that is 4 by the Beatles, the EP. It's a very, very rare EP. It didn't sell very well. That's why you don't see many EPs. There's only 2 EPs in the US of the Beatles, and that's this one, 4 by the Beatles, which included Roll Over Beethoven, This Boy, All My Loving, and Please Mr. Postman. And the other one is 4 by 4, the Beatles, which has the same picture as Beatles 65. But it's not too bad of condition. Let me show it to the camera here. Not too bad. I mean, for a couple bucks, it's not that, I said, hey, I'll pick it up. So, it's got a little bit of a niche in there. Alright, put that here for you guys to see while I get the next one. Let's put it on this side. That's the better side. The next one is a rare picture sleeve, which is this one. Now you may say, oh, that's just the Penny Lane Strawberry Fields, but this is the British version. It's a thinner sleeve than the actual American version. So, and they only made 250,000 of these to go with the first issues of this album, or single. So there's the wording, the British pound, and it has the cool little top there. So Definitely, I would recommend if you can get your hands on one of those, especially because there's not many of them, to try to pick it up. Here's the record. So on to the albums. The first album I picked up was Beatles Yellow Submarine. It's not just your normal Beatles Yellow Submarine though. This is a British version. As you can tell, it says "Nothing is Real" here on the cover. But what's really nice is this one is actually a mono version and a first pressing. So you can tell the first pressings by the red lines, and not just the red lines, but in early pressings, it doesn't show the Garrett and Lofthouse right here. On later pressings of this album, it'll actually say manufactured by Garrett and Lofthouse right here. So, and it is a mono recording, as it says PMC at the top there. So very, very rare, and it has the flip back. So that's what you want to see, is not having the wording here, the red lines, the two red lines, and the flip backs. So that is a first pressing of the mono copy of Yellow Submarine, which is very, very rare because this was when mono was on its way out. So it actually was starting to be on its way out during Sgt. Pepper. So it's very, very rare to find the preceding records in mono. So here is the black innard that came with it. And just to show the record to you. So the next one I'm very, very pleased with finding is the White Album. Now this is the British version White Album, the top loader. This is actually a mono copy, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted this, is because in the States they never issued mono. So I have a lower number than this in my US version, but I definitely wanted a mono version of this record. So let me show you the number here. That's my number. It is, just to kind of read it off, 0067377. There you go. There's, so of course, and it looks really, really quite nice. It shines. So there's nothing, there's no stereo in the top here, and it just crackles when you open it. It's very, very nice. Very, very nice conditioning record. So it does come with the black innards, just the same as this right here. There's two of them up in here, and it also comes with the posters and the 4 cutouts. So, or the 4 pictures. And one thing that when you do buy this album, if you are collecting it and you want to collect the first, it's a mono recording, so you're going to want to look on both sides, because they can have they can be mixed and match. So here is again. So let me show you the next record here, just to complete the whole thing here. And then there's the PMC again, and no, that's what you want to see on both sides, because that's where it's going to indicate that though that was actually the first pressing, because they stopped and then they showed the EMI recording, like on the Yellow Submarine. Just bring that up again. It'll have this on the top. So, all right. Well, the last thing I want to show is one of the big ones as well. Is this Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band? But this isn't just anyone. This is actually a British 4th proof cover. And what I mean by 4th proof, I'm going to actually tell you, and then I'll show you. What happened was the Beatles, when they made this cover, they had a couple different proofs. Like, they were going through what they wanted the cover to look like. And they ultimately chose the 4th one, the 4th proof. So what happened when they started making this cover, they thought they were going to switch it up and change the flip backs, and they left on the 4th proof on the cover. They accidentally left it on there, and they didn't realize this, and they say that the first 50 or 100 is like this. So let me show you now. So when you open up the cover, that's what you're going to see there. You can see the 4th proof up there. That's where they accidentally left the text on because they thought they weren't going to have the flip back style. They thought it was going to be more like the United States version, where they kind of tuck it into the album, like with the cardboard, even though this isn't cardboard. And then right here is the catalog number. If I can get it. Can you see it? The camera can't see it. It's very hard and difficult. There we go. So you can see an upside down AR D1321. So that's the catalog number, and they made, it's not a manufacturer error, it's just the first 50 to 100 covers ever made of this album kept the fourth proof on there. Some people say that they were only supposed to be for the EMI. They never were supposed to be sold, so it kept them within the EMI. But there's some albums out, they think. So here is the record. And I just wanted to show, because this was my original copy of Sgt. Pepper's, which is a first pressing of the cover, but it's not a fourth proof. So it isn't one of the first ones to come out. So, it is one of the first ones, but it's not the first. See, there's no fourth proof on the cover. But the same thing does happen on the back. It does have what you want to see is printed and made by Garrett and Lofthouse, patents pending. So if we take the fourth proof cover, you can see that they're both the same on that aspect. So, but yeah, this was my big pickups. Definitely take a look at them and see what you can find out there. And as always, happy collecting and hunting.